Hello, fabulous Instagram belly dance family. How are you guys doing? It's Sahira here, and I am logging in for another 30 to Thrive, coming at you live from Houston, Texas, where it's another gorgeous day. I'm very excited about that. Hello there. Thank you for joining in. Hey, Alfredo. Hola, tío. ¿Cómo está? Qué bueno. I've got people logging in from Chile. This is great. Awesome. Hey, DJ Rocky. Good to see you. Good to see you in person sometimes too. I'm glad that I get to see all of you guys virtually over the interwebs, even though we don't get to hang out on a regular basis. And that is half of the reason why I do these. Hey Jadu, good to see you. Because it's just an opportunity to connect, right? In a moment in time where we have very little physical connection to people outside of our immediate quarantined family. It's really nice to be able to hang out with you all, even if it has to be in a virtual space. I feel your energy, and that makes me happy, and it gives me a way to connect, and it gives me a way to tell the days apart, because I don't know about you, but it's starting to feel a little bit like Groundhog Day every day. And so I've tried to schedule my days so that each day something a little bit different is going on and kind of exciting, right? I teach on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I've got you guys on Tuesday. I've got my Zoom dance jam on Saturday. Actually, this Saturday I have a really exciting event that I'm hosting with Kareem Nagy virtually for my students and some other dancers here in Houston, and we're doing a little online hafla. So lots of good things to look forward to and lots of things to be grateful for, which is exactly the topic of our conversation today. So that kind of segues me in. For those of you who might be new, hey folks, thanks for joining. Thank you so much, Zaina, for being here. Awesome, good to see you. For those of you joining for the first time, this 30 to Thrive has now been going on for maybe 4 or 5 weeks, where I come at you live every single Tuesday at 2 p.m. to connect, to inspire, hopefully, and to belly dance, because I have found that throughout it all, dance has been my saving grace. When things get tough, the tough get belly dancing, is what I have to say. And I feel like any sort of movement that any of us can do on a regular day, be it going out for a walk, taking a jog, getting on a bike, doing some payo is my other favorite, and I always do body pump with a friend of mine on Thursdays over Zoom, and it's fantastic. And so these kinds of things help invigorate not only our body and our mind, but I think our spirit and our psyche. Research has shown over and over that the fastest way to change the way that you feel is to change the way you're moving. And for so many people right now, quarantine means sort of sitting in a chair or sitting on the couch or being fairly sedentary a lot of the day, which is not helpful, right? It's not good for our body, our brains, or our souls. And so this is an opportunity today. We will do a lot of dancing, and it's an opportunity to just move and to sweat and to feel good while doing it. I always find that I come out of this 30-minute session with you all in a much better frame of mind than I went in, and I hope that it does the same for you. Hey Vanessa, good to see you. So glad that you're here. So that's why we're doing these 30 to Thrives, and that is why we're doing it today. Today, actually, I'm going to change things up a little bit. We've been talking about a lot of different ideas over the last 4 or 5 weeks about how you can create joy in your day, how you can schedule your days, do your morning routine, deal with negative thoughts, find ways for creative play, creative connection, all of these things, and lots of different ideas. But I have a confession, and I'm curious, I'm going to reach out to you all to see if you understand me. I have a confession to make, in that I love self-help, I love positive psychology, and I'm always looking for the latest and greatest book, podcast, or whatever on the subject. And then I find a great book, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is it. This is exactly what I need to help me with XYZ in my life. And I'll order the book, and it will come, and I will set it on my bedside table, and there it will sit for weeks. And I've learned, right, because I can be taught, that just having the information in my hand does not equal putting the information in my head, does not equal using the information in my life. If you have ever been in this situation and are willing to admit it, if you give me a little thumbs up or a heart in the chat, I would appreciate it to know that I'm not alone in the take a first step towards making a change, making a difference in your life, but not actually following through. Oh, good, you understand me, Michelle. I'm so glad, because I've done it so many times where I'm like, I don't understand that this isn't getting any better. You too, Vanessa. It's not getting any better. And I'm like, well, yeah, but you haven't opened the book. You're not going to learn it by osmosis. Yes. Okay. So we're all in this together. I'm glad to know that I'm not alone. I was beginning to feel like maybe I was I was lacking something. So this is what we're going to start doing, what I would like to do with these sessions. We've talked a lot of theory, we've talked a lot of, great ideas, things that have been proven through science of psychology and positive psychology over the years. But if we do nothing with it, it's useless information, right? So today we're taking it a step further, and I'm giving you homework. I don't like to call it homework because then nobody does it. I'm giving you home play. I'm giving you a thing to do. I'm giving you marching orders, as my guru Amy Porterfield would say. Here's your marching orders. Here are the things that you need to do today to put what we talk about in action so that you can actually see the results instead of just think about how nice those results would be to see. So today we're going to a time-tested, honored, tried and true happiness practice, the gratitude journal. A lot of you have probably heard about this, but how many of you have heard about it and know that it's an awesome idea, but have never done it? Yeah, I actually have done it on and off. I'm not a regular gratitude journaler, but this week I'm going to be. And so are you if you want to join me on this adventure, because I find that this is a huge idea that is so easy to implement, right? It takes less than 5 minutes a day, and it can make massive change in your focus, which makes massive change in your life, because we all know that which we focus on is magnified, and we bring more of that to us. So if I focus on gratitude, if I focus on what I have, I magnify what I have, and I bring more of that positive to me. Whereas if I focus on what I do not have, which is very easy to do right now, because there are a lot of things that we do not have that we typically would have. So it's very easy to focus on that. But when we focus on that, then we magnify that which we do not have, and that is what we see in our lives, and that is what we focus on. Yes, let's be accountable, and we're gonna be accountable together. I want you to check up on me, and I will check up on you, Michelle. This is the plan. So gratitude journaling is as simple as this. I'm going to suggest, invite you, tell you, plead with you to take a moment I do it at the end of the day, but you could do it first thing in the morning, which might put your day off on the right foot, to grab a notebook. I've got my notebook here, and to write 3 things or more, 3 things that you are grateful for. It can be something that is sort of a constant daily sort of thing, like I am so grateful for the roof over my head, I'm grateful for my family, or it could be something unique that happened in that day. My husband just made me this really fantastic Vietnamese iced coffee. I'm very grateful for that. It's the little things, right? And so it could be something small or an event that you have. I was really grateful to dance in Bahia's Hafla online on Saturday. It reminded me how much I love performing, which I hadn't done in like 2 months, right? So it can be something that is new and different in your life, or it can be something that has always been there, but you haven't taken a moment to appreciate it. But what I would like for you to do is mix it up, and each day have it be something different. Now, if you have a hard time sticking to things on a regular basis, do not panic. They've actually shown that people who gratitude journal occasionally, like a couple of times a week, actually experience more positive emotions than people who do it daily. And they haven't quite figured out why that is. Like, it might be because there's no stress behind doing your gratitude journal, right? Because if you get stressed out about feeling grateful, I think it's hard to feel grateful because you're stressed out about it. So you don't have to do it every day. I invite you to do it every day if it's easy enough for you to do and you remember to do it. But if you do it every other day, every third day, that's awesome as well. Yeah, and I'm grateful for you guys, because if I didn't have you to talk to, I'd just be encouraging myself over and over. So thank you guys so much. So this is the plan. Gratitude journal, once a day, 4 or 5 times in the week. But here's how we're keeping each other accountable. Here on Instagram, after you have gratitude journaled, if you are willing to snap a photo of it, snap a photo of it. If you are willing to take a little video of you talking about it, take a little video of you talking about it. If you just want to type it up into a pretty visual image with words, you can do that as well. But I want you to share it on your timeline, and I want you to tag me, Sahira Belly Dances, and I want you to tag 30to Thrive, the way I've been writing it, which is the number 30TOTHRIVE, and then I'll see it. Yeah, and then we can all watch each other's gratitude come in, which is going to do several things. One, it's going to encourage us all to do our gratitude journal, or maybe perhaps remind us that we said we were going to do a gratitude journal, right? And it'll also give us gratitude ideas. Like it's rare that I have a day where I can't think of what I'm grateful for, but sometimes someone will be grateful for something that you had just kind of taken for granted and you hadn't thought about it, right? And so if someone else's gratitude springs an idea into your brain, we are all ever so much more grateful for it. Hello, Corinna, good to see you. And so that is why I encourage you to post it. So either as a quick little photo, as a little graphic, or as a video, tag me, tag 30 to Thrive, and here's the kicker. So yes, that's gonna keep us accountable. It's gonna make sure we're doing something. But at the end of the week, so next Tuesday, when we come around again and I get on here for another 30 to Thrive, I'm going to give away a prize, because nothing motivates me more than a prize, and maybe a prize would motivate you too. So the prize I'm going to randomly select from someone who's participated a few times. You don't have to do it every day, but please do it several times, yeah? And I'm going to randomly select from people who have participated, and I am going to gift you 1 month of my Rhinestone collection on Teachable for free. It's normally $30 a month. It gives you access to hundreds of hours of video, technique, drills, choreography, zills coming out your ears, and more. I'm going to gift you a 30-day all-access pass to my Rhinestone subscription as a thank you for being grateful. Yeah, so it's kind of like a win-win. You get to be more grateful. We all get to sense and experience gratitude together. Then you get to dance more, which might make you more grateful. That will make you write more gratitude, and then you'll want to dance more. And so it's just this like ever spiraling fabulousness upwards into gratitude nirvana is what I'm hoping. That's my evil plan, is that is what will happen. So, hey, Ariana. And so if you guys are game to do it, and I hope you'll join me, I will be posting my gratitude here. I'm probably snapshots, but I am kind of a video girl, so I might try to get a few videos on there just letting you know what I was grateful for that day. And I can't wait to see what you all are grateful for as well, because I know it's going to inspire me to find gratitude in things that perhaps I'm just sort of letting coast by, right? As the weeks go on and the weeks and days sort of blur into each other, it becomes very easy to forget things that we have appreciated in the past, but now perhaps are confronted with on a very regular basis, yeah? And so if that makes sense, give me a thumbs up. If you think you can do this gratitude exercise with me for the next week, toss something in the chat and let me know that you are game, because I'm excited to have folks join me for the journey, partially because you're going to keep me honest, and if I don't post, ping me and tell me. I'm going to try to do it every day. Yes, Ariana, you're in. I love it. There's going to be lots of things to be grateful for this week. And like I mentioned, when you start looking for gratitude, when you approach your day sort of looking for your list, you find it. Like you'll find it more easily just because you're looking for it. Yeah, and that puts us all in a wonderful position of just looking for the beautiful things in life on a regular basis, and hopefully it will become a habit. Yes, you're game, Michelle, fabulous. Zaina, you're in. Vanessa, you're in. I love it. I'm going to do it too, and then hopefully even if you're watching this in the replay on my story later, you can join as well. You do not have to be here live to win. You need not be present to win next Tuesday. I will announce it, but it'd be more fun if you were here. So that is the plan. So that's all I've got for inspiration today. Now we are going to dance, because that always inspires me more than anything else, yeah? So go ahead and make some space. So 30 to Thrive, put in the number 30TOTHRIVE, and I will find it. So 30TOTHRIVE, 30 to Thrive, and then tag me as well. That way I'll get it more than one way, and I'll be sure to find you, yeah? Cool, so I'm gonna move my chair here, and we're gonna talk today about figure eights and jewels. This is one of those moves I use all the time, and I realize there's so much beautiful variety and texture to be found in this move. So what I'm gonna talk you through is sort of how I teach it to my beginners, and then like what we do with it from there. So many of the movements that I use in belly dance, I take from a very like Western muscularity perspective when I begin, and then we get to kind of play with it and really loosen it up and relax into it as we get better with the movement. Pardon, all my house is busy today. There's so much going on here. So if you hear like lots of noise happening, it's my family just having a field day in the kitchen, I think. So we're gonna talk about from basic posture, right? Feet are hip width apart, pelvis is tucked, knees are bent, back is long. When I teach this in my beginner class, I teach it as a combination of a twist and a slide, and I really focus on keeping the center line of the body very erect and very upright. And we focus on making sure that this figure eight extends out from the sides of the body, but the center axis of the body stays fairly central. So I think of twisting forward, pushing forward, scooping back as far as I can, and sliding through at an angle. So this is the bare bones, basic figure eight that I show my students every day in the studio. But once we get going, especially there's so many of you here who are more advanced dancers and have been doing this for a long time, it's rare that we actually just do a figure eight like this, right? So once we get going, what I like to do is widen my stance a little bit and start to relax the knees, right? So typically when I'm doing very horizontal figure eight, my knees stay soft but do not bend and straighten. But once I start to really kind of get into it and feel it more, I'll get a little bit more bend in my knee, a little bit of a wider stance, and a little bit more weight transfer side to side. So now that center axis of my body, if you can see, is slightly shifting side to side, but I'm using the floor, I'm using the weight, I'm using a slightly lower center of gravity, a little bit more bellity if you like, a little lower center of gravity to make this a little bit more gooey and a little bit more delicious. So I invite you to widen your stance, push into the feet, feel the transfer of weight side to side, and kind of relish that connection with the ground as you create your figure eight, yeah? So we've taken it from feet right underneath us, slightly more muscular, to a little bit more grounded, a little bit more coming from the earth kind of feel. My knees are softening. I almost end up with no weight on one foot. And you can even see I sort of twist my feet a little bit. I'm just letting them release and relax. Now, if I want to make it even more gooey, because it's actually kind of rare that I do the figure eight just like this, I love to put the jewel in it. Jewels come in very many different shapes and sizes. Today I'm going to share with you my favorite. Once I get to the side, the jewel that I love to put in here is a little twist back, a little twist forward, and a little tuck in. A little tuck in the pelvis that's going to pull my hips slightly behind me. I'm tucking in low beneath my belly button and pulling in. And as I pull in, I lift the chest, I lift the chin, and it's almost like there's a dynamic tension and extension happening. So my hips are pulling back behind me, my chest is pulling up, my chin is pulling up slightly, and I get a pull, a dynamic pull there. Other side, same idea. I twist back, I twist front, and I pull in. Other side, back and front, pull in. Now this tuck can be right in the center, pulling, say, beneath your belly button, and your hips stay even as you pull back, right? If my tuck comes here right in the center, my hip bones stay even as I do it. Option two, if I come here and I twist back front and pull in a little bit more towards the hip flexor, pulling back towards the side, I'll almost get like a little bit of a lift on one side and a little bit of a dip on the other. Subtle, but this is what it's all about, is those textures, right? So I can pull a little bit further to one side, twist back front, pull in, figure eight, twist back front, pull in to the side of the belly button, nice and low, and you get a little bit of a different feel, yeah? Both of these can be used interchangeably. And then timing of your jewel, whole other thing, right? So now let's talk about even more texture. Here's a very even, very slow jewel. And I think of a jewel as any little small bling bling that we put on the end of this figure eight, right? So there's lots of different ways to make that happen. Timing wise, this one is kind of on the slow side, which can work depending on your music. Or we can take this and speed up the jewel, figure eight and jewel, figure eight, twist, twist, pull, figure eight, twist, twist, pull. And so it's a little bit more of a surprise, right? Slow, twist, twist, pull, slow, twist, twist, pull. And so you can play with the texture there. You can see as I'm doing this, I'm placing my weight completely on one foot, and my other foot gets to release, create a nice line. I think about pointing that toe a little bit. I even think about sort of showing the front of the foot towards the mirror, yeah, or towards the camera. Figure eight, twist, twist, pull, figure eight, twist, twist, pull. So you get a little bit of a fast, slow, fast, slow. I think of that slow as like a suspension, like you're looking over the edge of a cliff and you're pulling your hips back because you don't want to fall over. Figure eight, twist, twist, in. And I find I always want to inhale. Figure eight, twist, twist, in, and exhale. Twist, twist, in. Yes? How is that going? Is that making sense so far? Looks like you guys are doing good. Excellent. Okay, so I'm gonna have to figure out how this request to be in live videos works for next week, because maybe if y'all want to dance with me, that would be really fun. What I would like to do is we're gonna take these ideas, right? So taking this basic bare bones figure eight, which in and of itself is quite nice. Yeah, so back to, like, I call this my belly dance 101, figure eight, feet planted beneath you, hips stretching. I feel a lot in my obliques driving this movement. Very pretty. I can let the arms go, and it's a little bit more centered and controlled right underneath me, right? And then we'll play with opening it up, allowing the feet to widen, allowing the weight to shift a little bit side to side. You can bend the knees and really let it get a little bit gooier here, yeah? And then once you're feeling good with that, you can add in that little jewel, that little bling of interest, that little surprise, right? That little surprise jewel makes me think of LOL surprise, because that's what my daughter's been playing with all day today, LOL surprise. So this is our LOL surprise on the end of our figure eight, and you can play with tempo for that. So it can be like gooey, gooey pull, gooey, gooey pull, or at the edge of the mountaintop, whew, yeah, whatever feels good for you in that moment. These sorts of textures is how we as dancers get to express the music, right? The moves are the moves. And once you've learned the basic moves in belly dance, there are not thousands of moves. You learn the basic moves, and where you go with that is learning to massage them, to texture them, to play with the flavor of them, to fit exactly what you're hearing and your interpretation of it as the artiste that you are, right? As the dancer that you are. And that's when it gets really fun, when it's not just, okay, I know I'm doing figure eight right and left, but it's, I feel this, and then there's something there that makes me want to inhale and give that little surprise, and you get to have fun with it that way, yeah? So, I love that you're in the kitchen dancing, and you're on lunch and practicing in the grocery store aisle. I love you all so much. You are my heroes. That's fantastic. I'll have to find someplace really fun to dance next time, because these are all great. You can prove, that's proving, you can practice your dance anywhere, yeah? So I'm gonna put on some music for us so you guys can dance no matter where your dance practice has taken you. Today I'm keeping it in the family, and I'm actually gonna play for you something off of my husband's album. He doesn't know that. I don't think he's on. He's taking care of my daughter. But he released an album a couple of years ago now. I think it's probably like 3 or 4 years ago now. He's a jazz piano player. He is not an Arab musician, but this is really beautiful. This is his rendition of a song by a popular Chilean artist. This song is Gracias a la Vida, and it's a gorgeous, gorgeous piece. And I figure since we are today talking about gratitude, dancing to a song that says thank you to life might be pretty appropriate, and I find it very moving. So I'll get you going. We'll start with the basic figure eight. We'll start to open it up. We'll start to flow with it, and then wherever your body wants it to go, I invite you to take it there. So let me get this going. Breath up. And find your stance, yeah? So basic figure eight, nice and slow. Excellent. Can you keep it really slow and controlled yet smooth? And let the arms express, since the hips are fairly basic, yes? Just a couple more like this. Arms are dancer's choice. All right, widening it a little bit. And allowing yourself to push into the floor, allowing yourself to bend the knees to transfer the weight. Now allowing yourself to play with tempo. add that jewel in however you would like. So can you listen to the piano and decide where that jewel goes for you? You can do some without the jewel, and then add the jewel as a surprise. Let the arms go. Good. Now open it up to wherever you would like these figure eights to go. But can you keep it with just figure eights, yeah? Nice. Keep it going. Now back to the chorus, or back to the verse, yeah? So maybe take it back in. Solo's over, back to the verse. You got this, keep going. Right down that grocery store aisle, you got it. How can you crescendo with the hips? Oh, now it's kind of Latin. So now I want to do the figure eight with my feet moving. So how can you Latinify your figure eight, yeah? Maybe drop your center of gravity, drop your chest, bend those knees, salsify it, yeah? You're almost there, keep it going. Keep those feet close to the ground. Keep driving the hips forward and back. Almost there. And strike your pose. Nice. Woo, I forgot that song took a Latin twist in there. Grab your seat if you've got a seat, or grab a drink of water. I love the exercise of attempting to do an entire song with one move. Oh, yay. Hi, Gloria. My husband's mother's here, so now you get to see me belly dance to his music. I've been wanting to for weeks, so I had to do it. I had to do it. So yeah, it was super fun, yeah? Thus proving you can belly dance to anything. But when the music changes, you've got to change your mood, right? So we did 5 minutes of figure eight with like 3 basic variations, but this is like the essence, the little gem. This is the jewel in the middle of belly dance. When I went to Egypt in 2005 and watched the folklore dancers from Luxor, oh my God, they stole my heart. And when I really sat back, I was like, what is it that they're doing that's driving me so crazy? I love it so much. And there wasn't like any new move I hadn't seen. And oftentimes they would dance the same move for like 30, 45 seconds. It was that hip lift over and over. And I could have watched them all day long. Not because they were doing something that I was like, oh my gosh, that's so challenging. It was just the mood, it was the feeling, it was the heart, it was the interpretation, it was like the authenticity of their heart on top of that move over and over and over, right? So I think sometimes we end up in a quest to find like the latest and greatest movements, but there aren't many more new moves to be found after 20 years. I mean, every once in a while I do stumble across something that I'm like, oh my gosh, I've never seen that before. But the heart, yeah, exactly. Like it's something about that, and you'll recognize that in performers that you enjoy. It's not necessarily that they do all the technique, though it could be, right? I feel like it's that heart. So I invite you this week to play with heart, right? And to really get into the music, allow it to be an expression of your soul and your innermost feelings for so many reasons, because it makes you a more authentic dancer for yourself. And I feel like that kind of emotional exploration is really, really important right now for all of us. And I think that's something that will help us make it through these days, not just surviving, but like I always say, thriving, right? So thank you all for joining me. Don't forget your homework. Get your gratitude journals out. I will post a picture of mine later today. Be sure to tag me, Sahira Belly Dances, and tag 30 to Thrive, the number 302TOTHRIVE, and I will check those out. And then next Tuesday when we're together, I will announce the winner of a 1 month all access pass to my Rhinestone subscription on teachable.com, on sahirabellydances.teachable.com, and we can just keep dancing together, and it will be so very awesome. Thank you all so much. I appreciate it. If you ever want to join me for more conversation, I send out an email once a week with links to great resources, a lot of videos that I make for my YouTube channel that I like to share. I have weekly little 10, 15, 20-minute classes. You can join me at sahirabellydances.com/join me, and that'll just get you on my mailing list to get my more personal communications. Thank you, Cosmic Countess and Ariana. I appreciate you. Thank you, Corinna. I'm so glad that y'all are here. Thank you for spending this time with me. It means the world to me. Have a beautiful and blessed day. Until next time. Bye-bye.